It is day 8 of the 12 days of BashMas, a betting series where I'm trying to make some money ahead of Christmas so I can escape my in-laws and my own laws on Boxing Day and go skiing in La Paz de Chavanette in the Port de Soleil region of the Alps. Yesterday was a bit of a losing day, took a hefty loss, but that's okay. We are gambling. We're going to take losses. We can't win every single day. It was a minus 20.6% ROI day yesterday, leaving me at plus £2,192.43 after 7 days of BashMas. Now, these losing days, the thing about them that I sort of focus on is that there was so much opportunity, and that's the important thing. You see, if there's not much opportunity and you win, you can have a counter argument there where you go, well, how many times is that going to happen? How many times am I going to have a hefty loss? The more bets we can have in a day, the more likely the variance is going to even itself out and we're going to get through, short-term losing runs. And that's all yesterday was. There was loads of opportunities, but it was still only 76 bets, and that's not many. You can easily place 76 positive expectation bets and be down, as I was. If we were to split yesterday into 2 different charts, where are they? Let's bring the first one up. This is my horse racing chart. Have a look at that, right? Whoa, throw me a bone. I mean, come on, it's only 24 bets still, but consistently now been losing since the 6th or so bet. And just for comparison, this is everything else, so football, golf, darts. We sort of peaked, sort of 60% of the way through, and we've been losing since. Again, with the sample size and the bets and the volatility and the variance that we're expecting, it's perfectly normal. So, let's go through horse racing first. Today's a bit of an interesting day for horse racing. I want to sort of maybe explain my thought process of how I'm going to pick something like this. I'm going to start at William Hill, but there is maybe more at Betfred. Let me just bring up the thing on my screen. Sorry, I should have done this before. So at William Hill, our issue here that I have is, do we want to take these 80 to 1 horses, 100 to 1 horses that are in the 1240 and the 140 at Plumpton? Really, when I'm doing the very, very long odds horses, which I would classify as over 50 to 1, really, they're kind of secondary to the main horse value that I'm trying to extract. Where, I'm expecting horses to come in, at least to place when they're 10 to 1 on the win, 20 to 1 on the win, 30 to 1 on the win, even. It should be coming in at, frequency of a roll of a dice. But once we're up at 80 to 1, 100 to 1, it's 1 in 20 times that these horses are placing. Now, in terms of the series of this video, am I going to be putting 100 to 1 horses into this video as the only bets that I have, or maybe 1 of 2? Well, look at the composition of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those horses on the tracker just now, out of the 10, are from the 1240 Plumpton, 140 Plumpton. That gives me a problem when creating a multiple, a lucky 15, right? So that's the first problem, is that it's only really 2 races today that we're looking at in terms of value, plus a handful of others. And the second one is the really high odds horses. And for that reason, there are 10 plus EV horses here. I'm only going to be taking 4 of them out to form a lucky 15 today. And I'm not going to be looking at the 80 to 1 and 100 to 1 horses. And if they place or if they win, so be it. I am happy with my logic here. It would actually be superficial, really, if one of these did place, because it would sort of be very, very lucky in the context of the 1 or 2 lucky 15s that I'm placing in William Hill today. So I'm only going to do the 3rd top EV horse, which is calculated through the BB algo, hence the red highlighted confidence. That means that we're not looking at the exchange for place probability data. We're coming up with it ourselves, and we are taking right folks, please. I'm going to throw them in with Ken Roy at 7-4, Panama Black at 20-1, and Yoshimi at 6-1, and that's going to be it today in terms of a lucky 15 at William Hill. So, Bold Recruit, Andershan, Epic West, they're all positive expectation, but between 100 and 100.6% EV, and just the way that tracker's looking just now, I can only really see one. So similarly, we have an interesting puzzle to solve at Betfred, because again, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 plus EV horses. I can't even make a single lucky 15 because this is all the 140. I mean, maybe I could make a single lucky 15, but I think I'm going to concentrate on removing those 80-1s mentally, and from the rest, I'm going to make 3 different Trixies at, less than 20-1. So I like the odd, because of course in the Trixie, unlike the lucky 15, we need 2 to come in, we need 2 to place. So I'm not so keen, definitely not keen on massive odds horses in a Trixie. But we could do Anna Harvey Ladd, 12-1, Bay of Naples, 11-1, and Right Folks Please again at 10-1. Followed by Potter's Jet Amay at 14-1, Magnetic North at 16-1, and Papa Barnes at 8-1 at Naz. And we're going to finish a third Trixie as well as Nothing Else Matters at 11-2, Bond Spirit 10-1, and Jack McNamara at 6-4. Moving on to football, darts, and other things. The golf was a complete bust, which is going to happen. Look, I'm betting to win with a probability of about 12%. So 7 out of 8 tournaments are going to bust there, and 1 out of 8 is going to come in. So there's no shame in busting that. And again, the each ways didn't come in, and that's okay. I believe the guy that finished second, Van Wetzel, was a big each way bet at 350-1. I wasn't on him, but I have empirically heard that others were. So unlucky for not getting the win there, because that would have been a big old price. So what happened yesterday in the football? So much opportunity, nothing really came in. Brighton Palace, none of the cards came in that. In terms of we talked live on video about the first goal scorer, so that was kind of break even because we laid someone, we backed someone, it just happened to be somebody else. Whilst the enhanced special of both teams to score and each team to have over 2.5 came in, the rest of them didn't, so there was no red card in the match. The decent bet that I liked in the Paris Saint-Germain game, which was Gianluigi Donnarumma, to have 3+ saves, didn't come in. That was a big loss because I was betting quite high on that because it was down at evens and it was very, very high EV. So that one stung a little bit. The Chiefs, Jets, Chelsea and Spurs did come in. I was a little bit worried about the Jets, and they went to 25-25 in the last minute or so, but they won it. So that was good. They were like 4-1 with 5 minutes to go, the Jets. So that was a very, very swingy one. Laid Hodgland and Fernandes in the Man City game. No cards came in for me at all yesterday. Silva, Diallo and De Bruyne were my cards in that game. They didn't come in. I had a couple of first goal scorers in France, in Le Havre, Strasbourg and Rennes. Angers didn't come in. There was a nice enhanced special. Bruno Fernandes to have 1 or more shot on target, fouled 1+ time, and 1+ fouls, which did come in. Thanks to a penalty right at the end of the game. Needed that not to be an absolute stinker. That was quite good. I liked Erling Haaland to have a header. I thought it should have been about 8.9. Got on him at 9.8. He didn't get his header. So for that one, go on to the EPL stats, like the Premier League stats page. You can see how many goals he scored this season. You can see how many of them are headers. If that's a good enough sample size for you, a barometer, you can just take that, divide the two, and you've got a percentage of goals that Haaland scores with his header, and then go to the player XG tool, and you've got his XG in the game, which from memory was like 0.75. So if you're saying like 15% of the 0.75 are going to be headed goals, then you can get an X headed goal amount for Haaland and put that into a Poisson calculator, and that's how you get the value for that. Tottenham versus Southampton. Was it James Maddison got the first goal and I'd laid him, so took a loss on first goal scorer there, which is fine. That's going to happen. Only Maddison also got a card. Thank God somebody did, because he was the only card that I got yesterday. And the shots, well, I was due a loser on the shots, and I was on a Spurs over 6.5, Spurs over 7.5, match over 10.5. Laying all of those, Spurs went rampant. That's going to happen. Jermaine Watamina versus Belmont over 5.5 180s. I think that was an easy win. And then the Chelsea-Brentford game, again, the players didn't get cards for that. I laid Visser to get a shot on target. He did get a shot on target. Oh, did he not? Oh, he didn't get a shot on target. He did get a shot on target, and then VAR ruled it offside, so the bet won. But I had actually logged it initially as a loss because I was listening to the game. I thought that he had got his shot on target. I was on BTTS in the first half, which didn't come in, but Palmer and Jackson did get a shot on target. I mean, it feels like yesterday was better than it was going through that rundown. In the NFL, Nathan Saquon Barkley didn't get a touchdown. I thought he might. He was available at 1.98. Should have been maybe under 1.8. And Allen and Goff to throw 3+ touchdowns. They were all running touchdowns in that game yesterday. So it was about £1,000 loss or so yesterday, which is within the realms of, what's going to happen when you're placing 70 odd bets in a single day. Let's look at today. Darts. I'm looking at quite a few different darts bets today. In fact, let's finish with the darts. Just a couple of bets in Bournemouth versus Leicester tonight. Anytime goal scorer, I've added in the team news. There's one back and there's one lay. So Evan Nilsson, who I'm on DDHH from last week as well, he's been cut now. This is one of the benefits of getting on DDH early. I got on him like Wednesday, Thursday last week. He was positive EV then. He's not now. I'm going to be backing him at 3.95. I think anytime goal scorer for Evan Nielsen is good. So if he gets the first goal, cashing in twice. I'm also laying Jared Bowen anytime goal scorer because can lay him at 3.75, and that looks a little bit low. That's a decent price, especially if he doesn't start the game and he comes on a little bit later. Looking at the darts today, so we've got 2 sessions in the darts. We've got the morning session starting at 12:45. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 11 a.m.
Okay, got an hour and 45 minutes to finish up on the darts. And I might add more darts bets. Again, they'll always be added before the start as a JPEG under the video in this blog. But what I've got on already is Wesley Payne versus Azimoto. I'm laying over 4.5 180s. It's the equivalent of backing under 4.5 180s. I'm laying over 4.5 at 2.04 because I make it 2.18. In Alan Suter versus Kai Gothard, I am backing under 7.5 180s. And James Wade versus Jermaine Watamina, I'm going the over. I'm backing over 7.5 180s. I won't have got 3.95 for that though, will I? What have I got for that? I put down the wrong price. I put down a ridiculous 10,000% EV price where I'm betting the world. I got 1.71 for that. I think it should be about 1.61. So it's not a huge bet anymore, but it's less than the £15,000 that I had on it when I entered it in incorrectly. Session bets. There's a couple available at William Hill in the shops. Go to the SSBT. You can get them. It's going to be Connor Scott to have the most 180s in the evening session. I make that 4.75. You can get 5.5 at William Hill. He's actually the favourite in my X180s tool, and yet the 4th favourite at William Hill. That's a really interesting difference of opinion. And sometimes this session market can throw up fun things like this. And in the afternoon session, the match with the most 180s in the session is less of a big bet than the Connor Scott one, but James Wade versus Jermaine Watamina. Interestingly, I was just checking. it would have been interesting if I'd been on the under 7.5, but also made that match the most 180s. But that's not what I am on. Didn't get any 170s yesterday. Can they hurry up, please? TikTok, we're already 4 matches in, and I haven't got round to making my little bracket on that piece of paper. That's what I'm going to be doing right now. So let's wrap up on the video. Good luck to us on day 8. And will I be escaping on Boxing Day. If things continue as they have been doing, it's not guaranteed. It's not over until it's over. Merry Christmas.